Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 11 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Pitt County where a woman is now facing attempted murder charges after stabbing a man. The Pitt County Sheriff's Office say they were called to a home on Olivia Drive at around 2:15 p.m. yesterday afternoon for a reported stabbing in progress. Now, when deputies got to the home, they say they found a 43-year-old man suffering from a stab wound to the arm. Deputies provided immediate care to the man and applied a tourniquet to control the bleeding. The man was taken to ECU Health Medical Center for treatment. Deputies say they arrested 63-year-old Annie Lawler at the scene of the stabbing. She was taken to the Pitt County Jail where she was charged with attempted first-degree murder. Lawler is being held without bond and is scheduled to appear in court later today. Now we also want to highlight the last day for the families of those who died in two 737 MAX crashes to demand that Boeing face criminal charges. NBC's Tom Costello has more from Washington.
It was June of last year when Boeing's then CEO David Calhoun faced chants of shame from the families of the 346 people who died in two 737 MAX 8 crashes overseas.
I would like to apologize on behalf of all of our Boeing associates spread throughout the world, past and present, for your losses.
A few weeks later, Boeing pleaded guilty to deceiving the FAA regulators about new cockpit software that investigators later determined failed and contributed to the crash in Indonesia in 2018 and Ethiopia in 2019.
Responsibility and accountability is for them to be tried in court, for them to be put in jail if they find guilty.
But a judge rejected that plea deal in December, concerned about how an independent monitor would be chosen. Now the new Trump DOJ plea agreement drops the felony charge, but Boeing would pay $1.1 billion in fines and compensation to victims' families. The Justice Department says 110 family members approve of the deal, but many who don't will be given the chance to address a federal judge in Texas today. Nadia Melaron lost her daughter, Samia Stumo.
So the DOJ wants to drop the case against Boeing. So Boeing can kill 346 people and walk away with total impunity.
Boeing declining to comment ahead of today's hearing. The company is hoping the FAA will soon allow it to increase production of its 737s after undertaking steps to improve internal quality control and reporting. The increased oversight comes after the 737 door plug blowout last year. The new FAA chief says the company is still under intense FAA scrutiny.
Boeing's got a long way to go before they're going to get another bite at that apple.
And again, that was Tom Costello reporting. We now want to turn our attention to your weather forecast today. Again, it's been a fairly comfortable day thus far. We've got a steady northerly wind that'll continue to keep that cooler air flowing over eastern North Carolina through the next several hours. Here's a look again at your current air temperatures around the east. Most of us in the mid-70s, anywhere between around 73 up to about 76 degrees. Now through the afternoon, yeah, we're going to get a little bit warmer than where we were yesterday, but humidity still fairly low. We're seeing dew points in the low 60s to upper 50s. Right now, 59-degree dew point being reported through Williamson, Greenville, Kinston, New Bern, as well as Beaufort. 58 in Jacksonville. Right now, 56-degree dew point in Ahoskie, as well as Washington. Beautiful day to be on the water in Beaufort County. As far as your wind speeds are concerned, more of a 7 to 15 mile per hour breeze across the east right now. Those stronger winds, the winds on the higher end of that range, closer to the water, but even Kinston right now coming in with a 12 mile an hour sustained breeze. Over the next 24 hours, we are going to see these winds shift. Later on tonight, winds will go calm, and then we'll see those northerly winds turn more south-southwesterly, and that's going to start the process of returning both heat and humidity back to eastern North Carolina. Now, it should be a fairly brief stay. We're not looking at, again, just extensive heat and humidity sticking with us throughout the rest of the week, but certainly by Friday, And then even on Saturday, air temperatures will be in the low 90s with higher humidity than what we've seen over the past several days. Again, do want to say good morning to Amanda Bloom. Thank you so much for tuning in from the Maysville, Jacksonville area. Here's kind of a big picture look at exactly what we've got going on. It's the larger low pressure system up near Lake Superior that should have your attention. The one that you're seeing closer to North Carolina and Virginia, that's one that's actually going to be dying out as it tries to work its way across the mountains. Just not quite strong enough of a system to maintain organization as it handles that topography. Then, well, Thursday morning, that large cold front kind of set up over the Ohio River across the north side of Kentucky. That whole frontal boundary again will try to shift its way further eastward, but another area of low pressure is going to get flung down out of Canada thanks to the low pressure system of that stronger cold front. It's kind of this, that, and the other, kind of a switching up of systems, but this is a system again that will have a better chance of bringing cooler air back to eastern North Carolina. Really, a big reason why is that the cold front on that secondary system will be able to drift far enough south to again create those comfortable conditions yet again as we head into the start of next week. Sunday, it'll be kind of that transition day. May be comfortable on Sunday, but again, I'm anticipating a little bit more of that comfort to truly come the following Monday. Now, we do need to talk about the lone area of concern in the Atlantic. Right now, it's in the eastern side of the Atlantic, but it is heading westward. This is a system that over the next 7 days has a 70% chance or a high chance of tropical development. Now, over the next 48 hours, chance not really looking all that good, but this overall projection of where this area of concern, this cluster of thunderstorms, could become a tropical system. That swath of area, again, is fairly broad, but does bring in the possibility of eastern North Carolina. If everything goes a certain way, we may end up feeling impacts from this along our beaches. Again, nothing set in stone as of right now. This is a system, again, that is way, way out there. If we were to see any sort of impacts, it would likely be between around 10 to 20 days away. You can ballpark that at around 15. But for right now, again, nothing tropical on your 8-day forecast. Just want to keep you up to speed on exactly what's going on in the Atlantic because, again, we are approaching the absolute peak of hurricane season, which I believe is September 10th to 11th is usually, historically speaking, when the Atlantic is at its most active. Now, here's a look at your full 8-day forecast. Again, for today, tomorrow, and Friday, looking at mostly sunny skies, but air temperatures will spell a completely different story each day. 82 today, 88 tomorrow, 91 on Friday. And then we get into Saturday. Saturday is going to be a day where we see not only higher humidity, but that humidity will go along with the low 90s, making 91 feel more like 95, 96, 97 degrees outside. Not dangerous at all, but certainly warmer than what we've been used to. And we get into Sunday, starting to cool down as more rain showers roll in late Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then after that, we continue with some spotty showers lingering across the east for your Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Now, I do want to say good morning to Clementine Hedgepeth. Thank you so much for joining me over on Facebook. If you guys want to join the conversation, please feel free. And whenever I get a question over on Facebook, as we do these updates live at the top of each hour, I always try to make sure I answer all of those questions that, again, are over in our Facebook comments section. So, again, if you've got any weather questions, please feel free. Throw them on in there. We'll get them answered, and you can have a little bit more information at your fingertips. Well, that's all we have time for today's 11 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather again coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a wonderful Wednesday.